Welcome back to I Love You and I Like You.
With Mark and Kathleen.
We're back again. Thank you for everyone who watched or listened to last week's episode. We talked about our experiences with coronavirus, COVID-19. We weren't really sure going into it how we felt, how that episode was going to go, but
right.
I liked it.
It was good. It was good.
Turned out pretty well, and I even had someone tell me offline, I can tell that you and Kathleen are good parents. So mission accomplished, and we can shut down the podcast. We're all good, right? Had kind of a more serious, more grounded conversation last week. So we thought that it would be fun to do some kind of get to know you, question and answer situation here. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay. She's on board. We did talk about it ahead of time.
I'm just not super comfortable on camera, so.
That's fair.
So if anything seems weird, it's just because I'm not super comfortable on camera.
That's fine. It comes with time, and I literally, I led a worldwide training on a video conference. You majored
in broadcast journalism.
Did broadcast journalism, so way more experience doing this, and totally fair, totally fine. But something that you can't really see on camera, maybe you see just the top of it. Actually, you can. It's right there. Back in this bookcase is something that I don't even remember how we found out about it years ago. Someone told us about it. We saw it online.
Did we see it in a store? Did we see it on vacation or something?
Maybe, but for those of you who are watching the video, now you can see this. I'm holding it up closer. For anyone listening, this is called Tabletopics. So like tabletop and topics. Very clever. Tabletopics. This is the family edition of Tabletopics, and they come in these plastic cases. You can kind of hear that. And this specific edition is questions. It says questions to start great conversations. So we got this a couple of years ago. It came out in just 2010 was when they first launched this, but we've only had it a couple of years.
We got it because we started doing family dinner more with our kids, like at a sit-down family dinner at the table.
More purposeful
and our kids
activity.
Wanted to just speed through it in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make it a little bit more conversational.
That's kind of the American way to eat, right? You sit down, scarf it, and then run away. And it's
I'm pretty sure that up until Jeff was 4, we did movie and a dinner.
Well, yeah, that's, Netflix.
Which is awesome. We still do that.
Perfect dinner companion. We're going to, truth be told, we're going to finish watching The Swiss Family Robinson on the Disney Plus tonight.
We love dinner
while we eat. Dinner and a movie is fun, and it's a good treat, but probably shouldn't be the go-to all the time, right? Family meals are a chance for discussion, for talking about experiences.
And I feel like during a family meal, you kind of unwind. Your body just kind of relaxes a little bit more. Your food digests better. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit more.
It's definitely a chance for kids to sort of process their day and emotions they may have felt. At the beginning, it was kind of stilted. We're like, so how was your day? What did you do? And when we would ask those questions, Jeff, how was your day today and what did you do? It's so on the spot, and it's just not an organic conversation. Right.
But after doing it, we've realized that it's just, they'll open up and just start talking just because it's an organic conversation and it's part of dinner, Yeah. Now we only do it about 4 times a week, if that. Yeah. But we love it.
But it's something that's good to do. And when we first started doing this, I think, Jeff was young.
He was about 2, I think.
When we started getting more intentional about it was when he started going to school. And this maybe doesn't apply during this COVID-19 shutdown, but it will, again, at some point when people go back to school. Young kids, if you just say, how was your day? And I guess teenagers too, because this is how my siblings were as teenagers. Me probably, but you would just say, good, it was fine.
Well, because it's really hard to think on the spot like that.
But you read somewhere online, a child psychologist or someone said that you should ask more specific but open-ended questions, like, what was the best part of your day? What was something hard that happened today?
And it still doesn't help with a kid that's not a big talker. But true. It does help a little bit.
Yeah, it gets discussion going because it focuses it a little bit. And when you run out of more specific questions like that, or you want to keep things lighter, something like Tabletopics is an awesome solution. And I am going to leave a link in the description below the video to where you can pick this up. They have a lot of different versions. This is the family one, so everything is family appropriate for a YouTube channel, etc. They have other ones like adult questions and like party settings, and so you can get that's a whole really product line of Tabletopics.
That's cool.
So go check that out in the description below, and you'll see as this podcast unfolds a little bit how fun this can be, because they're like would you rather questions and like stuff like that. So I'm not actually shaking it up.
Well, and once again, I'm one of those kids, and I'm not a kid anymore, but I'm one of those people that do not think well on the spot.
Right.
So if you ask me, what's your favorite movie? I'll throw something out there, and then an hour later I'll be like, wait, that's not my favorite one.
Yeah.
So
it's fine.
It's just fun. It's,
low stakes.
Yeah.
Go pick up a copy of this if you like. So pull one of the cards out, and I will answer first, and then you can answer the same question.
We should probably pull from this end, because I can...
Oh, sure.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
you're answering first?
Yeah.
Okay.
To give you a chance to think about it.
Thanks.
Because I love you, and I like you.
Love you, I like you.
Okay.
If you were offered $1 million, could you get straight A's next year?
Well, yes, because I am done with school. Totally done with school. But... could I achieve something specific at work, a work metric or something, right?
Straight A's. That's pretty close to perfection. I mean, that's not like, how do you transition that to a work metric?
Well, so...
Or should we say, back when you were in high school or when you were in college, could you have gotten straight A's if someone gave you $1 million?
Yes, because the motivation would have been there, right? My motivation, especially in college, was more like hanging out with my friends and roommates and, like focusing on the subject or the class that I really liked and kind of neglecting other ones. But I say that, but the only classes I really got A's in college were my broadcast journalism classes, because I got to like edit videos and stuff.
But you're quick and you're really efficient, and so
if I'm motivated, I can.
You're fast though. Like even when you focus, when you focus in, for example, when I focus in 100%, you still do things and learn things twice as fast as I do. Like you're fast at picking things up. I'm quick at picking things up. I'm smart, but you're very efficient and quick. I feel like you really...
So there's too much objectivity in this question, because what are the classes? What is your major? Is it something you're interested in?
Well, usually when you're in school, you don't get to choose your classes. You don't get to choose all of your classes.
That's true.
Until you're in like a graduate program.
Okay, well, so let's put it this way. I'm confident that I could, because... For $1 million, you could either bribe your professors to give you A's. Just kidding.
I wouldn't do that.
What I would say is I went above and beyond for some of the classes when the stakes were much lower, right? So I think of a Bio 100 class that I had to take at BYU, just a general ed class and biology. And it was awful. Like lecture hall with, 2,200 seats, like huge, just mass auditorium, and then a bunch of lab sections. And then like our biggest project for the whole semester was this big group project that we were supposed to work on for 2 months or something. Group projects in general, until you're in a professional working environment, because no one cared about it as much or put in as much effort as I did. So I was that side of the group project. Maybe you love group projects because you're a slacker and someone else did it for you.
I don't know. I love group projects, and I'm not a huge slacker.
Well, when it worked, like when it was divide and conquer and everyone did their thing, great. Perfect.
But when you have to carry the weight of somebody else's work.
When it's a general ed class and most of the people are freshmen and people don't really care and whatever else, they're just there to like check the class off and move on and focus on something else. It was tough. It was not a good environment. So...
Could you get that A?
What I ended up doing, and I did get an A on this project, not in the class overall, but what I ended up doing was just taking it all on and saying, okay, you send me this portion, you send me this portion, and when I didn't get part of it back from someone, I just did their part. And then we had to create this big poster, it was like a 3 foot by 5 foot gigantic poster, print it out, and then present it like in a science fair type environment in the student union building. And I did that. I am the one who did all the graphic design, printed it out. Thank you, thank you. I have been waiting for that affirmation and feedback for 17 years.
Well
because no one gave it to me.
You're amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate
you
that.
always have had a good work ethic.
Yes.
It's true.
So, even though the poster had pictures of Captain Planet on it, and it had like this very tongue-in-cheek, like tree-hugging bent to it, I got full credit for it.
Well done.
So, thank you.
I don't think I would, because I took statistics at BYU.
Statistics
and
was rough.
I passed.
Good.
I put in my all. Like 100%. I went to every lab. I went to tutoring sessions. I did everything, and I could not pull out an A, let alone a B. I'm pretty sure I got a C in that. And I mean, I did well in my other classes, but that class, if I had that during this question, there's no way.
See, and that's why I think it's kind of a hard question, because it definitely depends on the class, the season of life, the school you're going to. Like,
well, and then, I mean, do the benefits outweigh the risk? Because, like, if you work so hard that you end up getting pneumonia, I guess that's not a huge problem. You recover from it. But
for $1 million, I would voluntarily.
Yeah, that's true.
I would push myself to the limits for $1 million. All right. So, not entirely applicable to us because we're done with school.
Oh, you choose.
But that would be fun for a kid in school to answer, right?
Okay. And when we do this at the dinner table, we do not get into like a
That's
deep
true.
of a conversation.
We give much shorter answers.
Yeah. We're like, yes, no, not really. This is why.
Well, I want $1 million, so I would do whatever it takes. Right. Okay. This one I like because this is one of my favorite topics when it comes to like movies and stuff. Would you like to see an alien?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's awesome.
You said yeah really quickly.
Not by myself. Like, I'd want a whole group of, a team of scientists and hazmat people on call if I needed them. Or like...
watch it on TV or something.
No, like a real life
Oh, you want to see it? Okay.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'm hesitant. Yes, because in the alien movies I've seen, and that's reality, folks, that's reality. But in the alien movies I've seen, aliens are usually trying to take over the world, and they're scary.
What about, like, First Contact?
Yeah, that was freaky. Their knees bent the wrong direction. No, not First Contact. You're just saying Contact.
Is it Contact?
Yeah, because Star Trek First Contact is it. Yeah, that's what I assumed you meant. Contact.
They were misunderstood, right? Like, in half of these alien movies, they're misunderstood.
I'm blending a weird movie with, I think, Charlie Sheen in it that I can't remember.
Well, truth be told, I haven't seen Contact in over a decade. So.
No, Contact was just like radio frequencies that ended up being blueprints to build a machine, and then she went through it and she saw her father and talked to him.
Why did I think it was...
There's a different movie that I was thinking of with like aliens' legs that bend the wrong direction and stuff.
What's the one where aliens are just misunderstood? Is it the one I'm thinking of with Amy Adams? Is that the one?
The Arrival.
The Arrival.
Yeah, where they're like these squid-like things that like write and smoke.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they are...
That's cool.
But the point is that like... Not all aliens are out to conquer the world. It's true. If you watch War of the Worlds...
Yeah, see, for example, War of the Worlds, the remake with
that is horrifying.
That's horrifying.
I know.
And that movie is so good at just
you love that
building
movie.
Constant suspense and tension, and it does not let up for the whole movie.
Is the Quiet Place aliens? Is A Quiet Place aliens, or is it just monsters?
Well... They don't specify.
Okay.
Because there's not a lot of talking in that movie. Okay. But they're alien-like monsters. There's no other way to say, like, oh yeah, the monsters just showed up on Earth.
That's a good movie.
That was a good suspenseful movie. There's a new one coming out.
Yeah.
Man, we've talked about John Krasinski twice in 2 weeks now.
And Stranger Things, obviously. I would not want to meet those aliens.
Gosh. Stranger Things is so good. I don't know why I like Stranger Things.
I don't know why
it's awful and stupid, but it's so good.
It's compelling if you love those kind of movies, but you don't like those kind of movies, which is why it's so surprising that you like it.
So I don't like horror movies, and Stranger Things is more like horror.
Like if this were...
Because they're monsters, they're not really aliens.
If this were anything else, like if it had a different title, and you just saw a trailer for it, you'd be like, oh, I'm not watching that.
If I saw a trailer that showed parts of... I don't know. It was a gateway.
It's a cult classic. Right?
Yeah, season 1 was fairly light and like it got a little weird and dark. then season 2 and season 3 have gotten darker and weirder.
They suck you in because, like, the first half of the season, I swear Jeff could watch it, or Madeline could watch it.
Yeah.
And then the second half of the season, it, like, turns into this crazy...
Don't let your kids watch it.
A lot of kids watch it.
I know, but don't let I don't care what other parents have done. You should not. If you're listening to this, just don't do it. Okay.
You are now the official parenting master, huh?
You got it. I would say, okay, last comment on would you like to see an alien?
Yes.
Totally depends on the alien. Loved the guy in Flight of the Navigator. Super nice, friendly,
like
whatever.
Those kind of aliens.
Hated E.T. as a kid.
Oh, you need to watch that again.
Great movie.
He's a misunderstood. Like
you can't dispute
such
that
a
it's
nice
a great
alien.
movie.
He's such a good alien.
That gave me nightmares for a decade.
You still don't like basements.
I still don't really like basements. We're in a basement right now, but it is very well lit. I work in a basement.
Yeah.
I just don't. E.T. freaks me out. When he gets sick and he's like white and pasty and in the ditch and stuff. It's
I never saw that as scary. I saw that as so sad. Because he was so cute and nice. And then it was like, oh, he's dying.
Okay,
it's sad.
plus like the jump scares when they find him in the cornfield initially. And he's like, and he like freaks out. And his head goes up on that weird neck and stuff.
He's so cute. Although I think I'm in the minority. Most people get freaked out about E.T.
Yes. Well, and we've talked about this on.
Well, and I've talked to other people about it too, and they're like, "He was so scary. It was E.T. is of my childhood nightmares."
Yeah, E.T. was my childhood nightmare. Like
but he's so cute.
When you had to get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and you're like, you don't want to turn a light on because you don't want to wake other people up and
That's
stuff.
So funny.
I would see like a lamp or something that was like up and the head.
Here's a question: When
that
you
version
watched
of E.T.
it,
freaked me out.
When you watched it, did you like when you were a kid? Did you watch it at night in the dark, and was it under the guise of like this jumpy movie?
I don't recall, but when I first saw it, I was somewhere between Elliot and his younger sister in age. Mm-hmm. So I really related to the two of them. Mm-hmm. And I could very easily see myself in that movie, in that scenario, in that situation, which
well, then you should see
unnerving.
yourself as a kid who like loves E.T. because Elliot loved E.T.
I don't know. It freaks me out.
You're not alone. A lot of people I've talked to do not like E.T.
I am posting on the YouTube version of this. There's going to be a poll up here.
Yes, that's a good idea.
How many of you are freaked out by E.T. and how many of you like E.T.?
There you go.
Just think he's cute and cuddly. Because I want to know people's feedback.
I don't know that I'd say cuddly. He's like...
Yeah, that's true. Because the gremlins are cuddly.
He's not like cute and cuddly, but...
Okay.
Anyway.
Next question. I would like to see an alien with conditions. Next question.
Yes. What do you most admire about your parents?
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Okay. So, I think for my mom, I admire that she likes to help other people. So, people in her neighborhood, family, friends, she's there when people are going through cancer treatments. She goes on walks with friends. Yeah. She's always prepared to make and deliver food and like those kinds of things. So, and then for my dad, I think just his kind of quiet faith, not just in his religious beliefs, but like the way that he just quietly does. He's reliable. He just does stuff and you can count on him in that way. So, yeah. How about you?
What do I most admire about my parents?
It's a tough question because now I'm like, oh, well, there are other things
it's like you throw something out and then all of a sudden an hour later you're going to be like, oh, wait, there's this and this and this.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I really admire how my parents work really hard to, how do I explain it? Like, they're always there. They've always given this unconditional love. Like, we don't feel like we have to meet a goal to know that they'll always be there for us. It's for me and my siblings. Yeah. And they'll always love us.
You don't have to get all A's.
No, like,
back to that other question.
Right. And just, they will always be there. And that, what's the word for it?
Like that comfort or the reliable.
Just that knowledge that the reassurance that they will always be there, that they always love us, and that they'll help, whether it's coming over and dropping something off, or
showing up to help with a move,
or chatting on the phone every single day like I do with my mom. It's just so they're hard work, they're example of family and the importance of family, and they're example of a strong work ethic, because they're both really hard workers. So
good job. Yeah. And you answered with them together, and I answered
separately.
So
should I have done it separately? Is that okay?
I think it's fine. I like your answer.
Think about it.
I'm not questioning it at all.
Okay.
I think that reveals a bit about us psychologically, but I'm not going to dive into it. No, I just think of, like it said about your parents, and you think of them as a cohesive unit.
That's interesting.
And I think of them as individuals. I don't know.
I mean, I think of them as individuals, but it said parents, so I don't know. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, next question. Oh, wait, did I?
Oh.
No, go ahead.
No, you did. You pulled it out.
You pulled it out because I answered first.
Oh, that's true.
That's okay. What is this one?
What's under your bed right now?
Carpet for the first time in almost 10 years, because in this house we have carpet, but under our bed is a bunch of clothes. So stuff that is too small for me that I'm optimistically, delusionally thinking I'll fit in again. And then the thing that I use the most that's under the bed is a bin that I just pull out. It doesn't have a lid on it. That's where all my cycling gear is. So, jerseys and shorts and just cycling stuff, gloves and whatever. So when I go on a bike ride, I can pull that out and get dressed. Yeah. Because it's not something I use so frequently I want it in my dresser. It's just extra storage for it. Those are the things I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And dust bunnies.
I mean, dust bunnies. I never vacuum under the bed. Yeah. Off-season clothes. Yeah. You said.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's off-season, that's like fall, winter stuff.
Off-season clothes that don't fit that we want to hang on to, because and cycling. Your box of cycling stuff. The kids' birthday presents.
Oh yeah, they won't listen to or watch this, but Madeline's birthday is coming up, and her presents are hiding under the bed.
It's perfect because they never look under our bed.
Yeah, because they think it's a bunch of cycling clothes and clothes that are too small for us.
And is that it?
Yeah, we've been pretty good in this house, even though we have less storage space. Yeah. In general, I think we've been better about the things that we are storing. Under the bed stuff. Okay. I think we have time for one more before we take a break. Okay? Which animal would you leave out of the ark? So if you're Noah and you have to collect all the animals, which one would you leave out?
There's so many. I have to choose just one? Uh-huh.
Choose your least favorite animal that you would get rid of.
Did Noah take insects in the ark? I don't know if that counts.
We have to assume he did, right? Because he did bring honeybees. Oh. Right? So
I don't know.
I would assume, but why would he bring cockroaches, flies, and mosquitoes?
Right? It's just there are so many. When you look at insects, I'm like,
who knows?
So if I'm talking insects, it would be mosquitoes and wasps. Oof. But that's not usually what you think of when you think of the ark. So when you think of Noah's Ark, let's see. What would it be?
Yeah, normally we think mammals or reptiles.
Let's say like snakes. Crocodiles?
All snakes?
No, just
venomous.
Venomous snakes. No. Venomous spiders.
Yeah.
Arachnids. Apparently I don't like arachnids or insects.
Creepy crawly things.
Creepy crawly things that would be venomous.
It's a good answer.
I don't know. That's not really a great answer though, because...
Well, I mean, okay, going back to my reference to Bio 100, my immediate thought is like things that are considered apex predators that could do me serious harm.
Well, that's what you think of when you think of the ark.
But I like all of those. Yeah, and it would mess up the balance of the ecosystem.
Well, and apparently if you kill off all mosquitoes, it would mess up the ecosystem.
That's true too.
So if you take out any species, it would mess up the ecosystem. So let's like that aside.
Okay.
So we're not getting
if there were no repercussions.
Yeah, no repercussions. Like just which one would you have?
Well,
that is a really good...
Yeah.
It's a good point.
If I could go back in time a few months, I would get rid of bats so that person in China didn't eat one.
Right? Seriously. That is a great answer. Yes. Good job.
Okay, but it should be stated that mosquitoes kill more people than any other animal
Don't say that.
It's true.
People aren't going to go outside in the summer if you say that.
Okay. So the one that I would kill around here in Utah, like for my personal
cougars.
Mountain lions.
I would kill mountain lions so that you could go hiking and I wouldn't worry when you go hiking.
We went to BYU and we were cougars at BYU, right? The BYU Cougars.
Yep.
But I think I would kill cougars and mountain lions so that...
Well, because then you can go hiking and experience
like
nature.
I said, apex predator that literally will attack and kill humans.
And they'll hunt humans.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, they'll track you and pounce on you and whatever.
Yeah.
Where things like bears and stuff typically are afraid of humans and they'll run away. Mountain lions tend to follow you and stuff, especially if you're alone, which is freaky.
And with kids, aren't they more likely to
Yep.
I don't really love hiking.
Mm-hmm.
I like nature walks, but I've done my fair share of hiking being married to you.
Yeah.
Even though I've hung up that hiking hat because I'm like, why would I do something I hate?
Let's go.
I'll do a nature walk with you. I love nature walks. Okay. I'll do hiking if you do yoga.
Flat hike.
You do yoga with me, and I'll do hiking with you. See, exactly.
Maybe.
But I love that you love hiking. Mm-hmm. I do. But these mountains are full of cougars and mountain lions.
Yep.
And people that we know have seen them on the trails. Yeah. So
absolutely.
I always get freaked out whenever you go hiking.
That's a good answer. Okay.
It was yours. Good job.
We're gonna have more questions after this break, but we're gonna take a quick break for the ads, if there are any this round. And stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
And we're back.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for your patience during that ad break. We don't get a lot of money from Anchor or Spotify or anything yet, but someday. So, okay, more questions. You picked that one, right?
I don't.
Or did I answer first?
No. I think I picked it.
Okay.
I think it's yours.
Okay, ready?
I don't remember.
Oh, I already did that one. That's the which animal would you? Okay. What's the story behind your name? That's kind of cool.
That is a cool one.
Yeah.
The story behind I actually
where did it come from?
Talked to my mom about the story behind my name.
Oh. Good. Did you peek ahead and know that we were going to answer this question?
From what I remember, even as a kid, because I would always ask, where did I get my name? She'd always liked the name Kathleen. It's very similar to how the story behind Madeline's name.
Okay. You want to tell
that?
We found the name. We encountered the name.
But it wasn't like...
We loved it.
It was more of like a general, we love the name. Yeah. Not like a true family history story behind it.
No, yeah.
You know?
It was just literally, we were teaching Sunday school to a little girl whose name was Madeline.
And she was a cute, nice little girl. And we're like, we love the name Madeline. Yeah. And it stuck. It just stuck.
I loved the name even more than I loved that kid, but the name stuck.
I actually was almost Catherine because at the time, my mom was reading Catherine Marshall's books, Christie.
Yeah.
And she
Did she also write A Man Called Peter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great book.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Man Called Peter.
And so it's almost Catherine for a little bit, but I'm glad she stuck with Kathleen because I love it. So yeah.
I like that. And I had not met anyone named Kathleen before. I was aware of Kathleen Kennedy, who does movies with Steven Spielberg, like E.T., for example.
Yeah.
I think.
I think so. Well, she did so many back in that era.
Well, and I was aware of Kathleen Kelly from You've Got Mail.
Yes, that's right.
Right, they call her Kate
that
Kelly.
Again.
It's a good movie.
Kathleen Kelly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
But I had never met someone named Kathleen in person. And it was hard for me to remember your name at first because it's so unique. Right. And your roommate's name was Amy.
Which is so easy to remember.
I know 40 Amy's, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Story behind my name. I don't know how deep I want to get into it, but my family history, my dad's brother was named Mark, and he passed away in an accident at age 13. And it was really hard on the family. I mean, they still talk about him and stuff. Most of the families that came from that group of kids have a Mark.
You're right.
First name or middle name. They're all named Mark.
I don't know why I hadn't realized that.
So for example, in last week's episode, I mentioned my cousin with his channel Back to Snack, or the Back to Snack Show. He's on Twitch too. He has a brother named Mark.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a family name, tribute to the sibling that passed away at age 13. So,
very cool.
Carrying on the name.
Very cool.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Don't look.
It's okay. What's the funniest thing you've ever seen happen in the lunchroom? I don't think I've ever seen anything funny happen in the lunchroom.
I don't know that this is the funniest thing, but it's something that I did that got me in trouble.
Was
so
it
that
funny?
Might count. I thought it was hilarious at the time.
Then it was probably funny.
Okay. So if you have ever had a juice box, not a Capri Sun or something like that, those don't count. A juice box, the kind that's like the thick wax walled paper or whatever. Just like when Amazon sends you those pillows full of air, like the air bubbles that you can pop and they're really loud, juice boxes will do the same thing, fun fact. So when you pop them, you have to exert more force than just squeezing it like you would with the Amazon air bubbles.
Squeeze it.
No. It has to be fast.
You have to stomp on it.
You have to stomp on it. You have to stomp on it, especially if you're in elementary school. So I would drink my juice. I would drain it as much as I could. And then you leave the straw in, because it works better that way. Leave the straw in. You open the tabs on either side of the top and bottom, so it makes it more like a pillow, right?
Yeah.
So it's prepared to open up a little bit. You open the tabs on either side. And then you use the straw to inflate it as much as you can. So
you should show Jeff this.
No, I shouldn't.
Love that.
So you inflate it more than it should, even if it was full of liquid.
Yeah.
And then you put it on the ground sideways and with all your strength stomp on it. And it makes a sound that is so loud.
In a lunchroom.
Oh
my gosh.
That everything goes silent. And
well, it probably sounds like a gunshot.
Yeah. So maybe don't do
that in the lunchroom, but in your backyard.
Yes, try it at home. Truth be told, I used to do this in elementary school, and that was before even Columbine had happened. So school shootings were not a real concern. But I still got in trouble because it was really disruptive.
Yeah.
And my lunchroom had a traffic light in the corner, like a legit actual traffic light.
That's cool.
And they had switches on it, so the lunch aides would switch it from red to yellow to green.
That's cool.
Green was like everyone's behaving pretty well, the volume is fine. Yellows were getting a little too loud, a little too rowdy. And red was we have to be silent the rest of the lunch period because we've lost our privileges.
That's so sad.
I did this juice box thing several times.
Did you lose privileges for the whole lunchroom?
Yes.
That's so sad.
So when I did the juice box thing, we went straight from green to red.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and I did it several times, but it was like my fault. And you have like 300 elementary school kids eating lunch.
It's just so tempting, though. I mean,
it's an amazing trick.
If you know how to do it.
So it's not the funniest thing, but it was fun.
It was a fun
for
thing.
me. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I like it. Good job.
Perfect. Okay, ready? I don't know why I shake it. It's not like it's shuffling them.
I know. I don't know why we're like doing it blindly. It's not like we're drawing. Yeah.
I like the ASMR sound. Okay. All right. If you could, would you rather live on a boat, a treehouse, an igloo, or a teepee?
Ooh.
If you could, would you rather live in a boat, treehouse, igloo, or teepee?
I immediately thought boat. But then I thought about it, I'm like, would I get really motion sick if my boat was rocking all night long?
Well, it depends what kind of boat. Because in Amsterdam, the canals, those boats don't move at all, basically. They're houses that are just floating. I don't know.
Probably a boat.
What if it's a huge, like, mega yacht that doesn't really move around much either? Because it's more like a cruise ship.
I love the water. I love the water. I love oceans, whether I'm in a parka or a swimsuit. I love being on water. So, but not too far away from shore.
Okay, so you want like a day tripping boat and come back to a dock somewhere and sleep there.
I feel like if I lived in a teepee, I wouldn't have a nice warm shower.
That's true.
But I feel like I would get that in a boat,
nice boat.
In a nice boat.
So
I want my amenities.
Yeah, your qualification here is that it can't be like a rowboat or a canoe.
Well,
it has to be like a ship.
I think even if you're thinking teepee, it's going to be like a nice teepee. Okay. Like if you're thinking igloo, it's not. I mean, they're talking about living in, not what you like to camp in.
That's true.
So you would have
long term. Because I would do any of these for a night or two.
Long term, would you rather live in?
I would say treehouse. I mentioned at the outset of this podcast that we're watching Swiss Family Robinson with our kids, and that is legit.
It's really cool.
I would live in a treehouse, partly because I would feel safe and secure because I'm like up off the ground, so the tiger couldn't eat me and the pirates couldn't find me.
I just think of all the snakes and everything that can like slither.
Yeah. I mean,
but if it's an enclosed treehouse, you'd be fine. Yeah.
So a little nicer than what Swiss Family Robinson had. Like a crazy awesome tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like trees. I'm more of a connection to them.
You're more of a, like, you love the
trees
forest and the woods
and Okay.
I love the sea. You love the woods. Did I pull that one out? Yeah. We make quite a team, huh?
Yeah. Ocean and forest.
Yep. What do you say when someone gives you a gift you already have?
Thanks.
I think we've said everything. We've learned. Back in the day, we used to say, "Oh, thank you so much," because we didn't want to hurt the people's feelings. Oh, sorry.
No, this is.
Is this
you can go ahead and answer.
Or is this an?
No, go ahead and answer. I wasn't coming up with something, so that's good.
Okay, so back in the day, there was some Christmas where somebody gave us something that we already had.
Yeah, like a movie
and
or something.
We loved it, and we're like, thank you so much. And we didn't, because it was something that we already had, especially something that we loved.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was something that we already had, we liked it.
Yeah.
We knew we liked it.
You don't have to fake appreciation when it's something that you legitimately
But it's a little bit awkward because you don't want to say, oh, I have this, here, take this back. Because that's rude. That person went to the effort.
Right. They thought of you.
To think about us. And they were right. Clearly they were right.
Yeah.
I know.
If it's something you don't like.
I still think you say thank you.
Yeah.
I still think you say thank you. And you know what? If you don't want two of something, then maybe like lend it to someone.
Give it to someone.
Give it to someone. Regift it. Yeah. I still think you say thank you and graciously accept it and acknowledge the fact that they took the time and effort to find something that you really like.
And more than maybe any other question we've run into so far, that is a first world problem. It's like, oh, but now I have two of this. What do I do? It's an awkward social situation. It's like, just express gratitude,
where
be gracious.
Resources are limited, it might happen even more,
That's true, yeah. Someone gives you a coconut and you already have one. Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I think that was good. We both kind of answered that.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were showing a foreigner around your town, where would you take them?
Awesome.
And I'll extend that to say, like, around this area, because...
Would that extend to Salt Lake County?
Yeah, probably. Because if someone thinks of coming to Utah, they're not thinking, like, oh, I want to go to the town that Mark and Kathleen live in. They're thinking, like, I'd like to see Salt Lake, maybe go up into the mountains. It's like, it's all part of the thing. So I would extend it to, like, anywhere within 30 to 40 minute drive.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a place like Georgia,
under an hour.
If you're in a place like Georgia, that could be how long it takes you to get to a gas station.
Depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Depending on where you live, it does. It takes a long time to drive.
Right. So.
Well, when you came to visit my family in Georgia, we went to the aquarium.
Went to the Georgia Aquarium, CNN Center,
and that wasn't
Martin Luther
just
King
in
Jr.
our
Memorial.
Yeah, the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial was really cool.
It was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so how about
we don't have very many cool things.
That's not Atlanta.
Well,
I was just telling people this at work today. So I work for a company that has its headquarters in Provo, Utah, which is where BYU is, and whatever. Yeah. It's not the most exciting town, and
not really.
We were talking about how it's kind of sad that they weren't able to come to our company's headquarters for this training that they were doing. Because normally we bring people in from all over the world and they're here for 2 weeks for training, and they get to go out to the local restaurants, they get to go skiing, they get to, it's pretty cool.
You know what? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But what I was going to say is, and we could have shown you around to all of the chain restaurants that we have. Now, we do have some kind of specialty mom and pop kind of situations cropping up, but that's new.
I kind of feel like restaurants would be everywhere. Anywhere I go, I would like to try the restaurants.
Yeah, try the local food.
I don't know that that's specific to where we are.
Case in point, when I went to Texas in the Dallas area, there's a chain, but it's a local chain, of restaurants called Twisted Root. And it's a burger place, and they have like barrels of pickles, and the burgers every day they have some kind of exotic meat. So you could get an ostrich burger, a camel burger, that's the kind of cool place that you kind of have to go if you're in from out of town.
That is more of a tourist, very cool thing to see. That's not just your.
And we went to a small location where it was mostly just locals, but it was a fun vibe. I liked that.
San Diego, Embargo Grill.
Oh, Embargo Grill. If you are anywhere near San Diego, this is a Mark Reviews endorsement. Best food I think I've ever had anywhere ever.
It was really good.
You
have to like
maybe
Cuban
I was
food.
Super hungry.
You have to like Cuban food.
Yes.
It was very authentic.
It's a Cuban restaurant.
I don't know if it's very authentic, but...
No, but it's definitely like rice and beans and plantains and sweet potatoes.
Well, but they have their sauces. They have different sauces. And if you...
Guys, the Cuban sandwich
it's really good.
The Cuban sandwich. We've only gone once, but I think about them frequently. I follow them on Facebook.
We might have to take a trip to San Diego
just to go there.
Oh,
that's a stretch. But I would definitely go back to San Diego, and I would absolutely go there if we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about Georgia and Texas and California. What about Utah? You see, there's just not
we like to travel elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, okay, if I were to say bringing someone in.
Yeah. It's not just restaurants. It's anything.
Not. So the places that I'd probably take them is Okay, so I would have to figure out what they like to do. Like depending on their health, their fitness, their age. If they love skiing, I would definitely. We are known for skiing.
Yep.
Skiing
Greatest
would definitely be one of the places that you would take them if they are active and they love skiing and stuff like that. If they like just walking around, there's the aquarium. There's also the Hogle Zoo.
Yeah.
I would take them to one of those.
But I also feel like an aquarium or a zoo or something that almost everyone has.
They're just not in the Midwest, I don't think.
I guess.
If they're from Atlanta or Boston or California, they're not going to be extremely impressed by our aquarium or zoo. But it's still fun. It's still something to do. It's Robin's Nest in Salt Lake. Oh. That's in Salt Lake. Okay. There you go.
That is a food establishment. If you are in the Utah area, look up Robin's Nest.
It's so good.
Phenomenal. Yeah. It's like a New York style deli. They're only open for lunch.
Yep.
It's amazing. And my favorite local-ish chain of restaurants is called Spitz. It's a Mediterranean style, like shaved wheel of meat and like amazing Kalamata olives and garbanzos and fried pita bread and like,
But they have different flavor profiles, don't they? Is it like a lot of different varieties? Yeah. It's a cool little cafe almost.
Yeah, it's more like a sangria bar, like a tapas sangria bar feel.
Okay, I've never...
But the food, you can get wraps or baskets or whatever.
It's really good.
Okay.
Spitz.
Yeah, so those are both food places.
But those are food places again. What about, like, we've never done this. Would you take a visitor to a hot springs or...
Yeah.
I would definitely take them on a nature walk or a hike, depending on what they like to do. So you evaluate.
And I set a parameter of the distance that we could go.
Yeah.
Like if it's in the winter, I could easily take someone snowshoeing. Pine Hollow Trail up American Fork Canyon is my favorite.
But depending on what they like and what they are capable of and what they want to do, snowshoeing would,
so snowshoeing for sure. I would take them cycling on my trail.
Yes.
If we're extending this a little bit, so it's still in the state, but it's farther away, I would take them down to Moab and go to Delicate Arch.
Right. Or
Bryce
Midway.
Canyon.
I'd take them to Midway.
Go to Midway and Heber just to kind of get up and out of things.
Park City.
Okay, yeah, so...
Like walk Main Street in Park City.
Yeah.
Those are kind of quintessential things. Those are all within a day. Well, not within a day. They're all within an hour or two.
An hour or two.
Yeah.
But...
There's actually a lot to do here.
There's a ton to do.
You need to be
lot of
kind
Utah's
of outdoors.
A lot of Utah's outdoors stuff, for sure.
Well, because truth be told, we love going to dinner and going to the movie theater.
Yeah, and we have amazing movie theaters and great restaurants.
Yeah.
We have... I bagged on it a little bit beforehand because people eat a lot of chain restaurant food around here, but...
Red Fuego's not a chain.
Red Fuego is amazing.
Yeah.
That is a Peruvian restaurant that's in Orem and up in Lehigh.
Yeah.
That is amazing food.
It's
the rotisserie
really
chicken is so good. We had that on Monday this week, and now I'm craving it again.
So good. Cravings Bistro?
Cravings Bistro.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, that's up in Pleasant Grove if you haven't been to Cravings Bistro.
That's totally different.
It's like a deli-style sandwich, but...
Oh, but...
You can't even describe it that way. Our favorite one is called the Thanksgiving dinner, and it has turkey and stuffing and cranberry relish stuff and whatever in the sandwich.
In a grilled cheese sandwich. They have a mac and cheese one where they have like this mac and cheese and what else? Bacon? Or something.
I don't know.
In a grilled cheese sandwich. It's all grilled cheese sandwiches stuffed with
and they're not even paninis. It's true.
No, it's
just
like a true
bread.
Grilled cheese sandwich.
But they're big.
But they also have lighter ones. Like Monte Cristo or the
apple bacon
cheddar or something.
The ABC.
Super simple, light. You don't have to die of a heart attack to go there. But it's so good. It's so good. Can you tell me like to eat?
Yeah. Now I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I know.
We're filming this in the afternoon, and it is definitely almost dinner time.
We just ate like right before we did this.
I know, but I'm still hungry anyway because we're talking about all my favorite places.
But what about like ice skating?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've done stuff like that.
I don't think we've ever.
We haven't gone to Galvin Plaza. We went to Park City Mountain Resort.
Or the
ice skating.
The Alpine slide.
Yeah, Alpine slides.
But there's a new one.
You would probably take people to ski resorts and like former 2002 Winter Olympic type facilities, and you could watch people go down the ski jumps in the winter or even in the summer when they like jump into pools and stuff. Like there are cool things.
All of these, a lot of those things cost quite a bit of money.
Yes, which is why we haven't done it or haven't done it much.
And honestly, when people come to visit, we would go out to dinner.
Yeah.
And hang out and spend time with each other.
Normally we want to see the people.
Right.
But when my family has people...
If you're showing off Utah.
Yeah. When my family has people come in from out of town, they cannot say enough good about Utah. They're like, oh, the American West.
They're from Europe.
Germany, Denmark, whatever. And they drive through tiny little towns and ghost towns and stuff because it's totally foreign to them. Just like we would go to Europe and be super excited about whatever castle on the hill, and they're like, oh, that's not even one of the good ones, right?
Or like the shoreline or the Alps or like just I mean it's different. It's just different terrain and everything.
I think of people who have come in from out of town and the places that they go at the time that they have. If it's the winter, they always go skiing or at least go up to the resorts. Right. If it's the summer, they often will go out to the salt flats. That's true. Which is iconic and unique.
I have never been there.
Okay, let's go.
We should
sometime. Not this weekend, but
apparently not too iconic or unique.
No, it's good. It's just so far. From here, it's like 2.5 hours.
I also feel like if you are in college in Utah, you have to try it.
Yeah. So go to the salt flats because it's fun. Be respectful of it. If it has rained recently, then your car will kind of tear them up. So don't be doing donuts and stuff. You can get arrested for it.
Oh, you can get arrested for it? Oh. But can you camp out there?
I wouldn't.
Like just sleep in sleeping bags.
There are no facilities. Like there's no shade, there's no bathroom, there's no... I don't know.
Like look at the stars kind of a thing in the back of a pickup truck with a sleeping bag or something.
Totally, yeah. So people go to the salt flats, and then Utah has incredible national and state parks. Like world renowned. So we're talking Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon.
That's a drive though. That's
Moab. I know. These are all like southern Utah, and they're
like
ways away.
4 hours away. They're like 4 to 6 hours
Correct.
Away.
However, I had someone in from out of town. He was from New Jersey, and he was here training for his new job back in February. And he started to get really excited. He said, hey, how far is Moab? And I was like, well, it's about like 2.5, 3 hours. Kind of depends on how you drive. Yeah. And well, from where he was staying in South Provo.
Is it closer than I think it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It feels long though because there's nothing out there. And he was like, oh, I think I might go. So he literally, like, that was a Friday night.
Yeah.
He literally just drove down there after work on a Friday.
That's cool.
Got a hotel room. And then Saturday morning, before anyone else was awake, he just got up, went to Delicate Arch. He had the place to himself. It was February, too. And then walked back and then, like, did a couple other nature trails and stuff.
I love Delicate Arch.
And he raves about it to this day, just, like, how incredible it was. And I had a similar experience with someone in from out of town from back in Massachusetts. And they went down to Zion National Park, and they hiked Angel's Landing, which is super sketchy.
That's like 6 hours away, I think, isn't it?
It's close. You have to go basically all the way to St. George, which is almost Arizona, and then over. It's far.
A lot. It's far.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's east
if you are coming into Utah and you want to see something iconic and really cool, why not?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I mean,
that's
you're going to be spending time in a hotel if you're going to be spending time in a hotel. You're going to be spending the money on one if you are planning on it anyway. So why not just go somewhere that you would always remember?
Usually people fit into 2 categories. They either come to Utah specifically for those things, or they come here to visit someone and they want to go do something. Yeah. And that's more what this question was getting at. There are amazing things in Utah. Yeah. And I will be the first to admit that when we first moved here, when I was a teenager, I was determined to hate Utah. And it took me the better part of 15 years to get over it.
You didn't like Utah until you started cycling.
Exactly.
That's not the better for 15 years.
So no, because that was about...
Was it?
Yeah, it was about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is...
You really kind of have... Well,
my point. I digress a little bit, but this is my point. I had an epiphany at one point that it doesn't matter where you live, and this is good for this question. If you were showing a foreigner around your town, where would you take them? It doesn't matter where you live if your lifestyle is going to school or work, coming home and watching Netflix, and going to bed. If that's it, if that's what you do every day...
We can live anywhere.
Exactly. You could live in Tokyo or Milan, Italy, or London, or Johannesburg, South Africa, or Sydney, Australia.
Right.
And you're going to have a very similar life and experience.
It's true.
To anyone else living anywhere else in a place that you would never go because it's super boring. You're missing out on stuff. And I think of a story from Gerald Causé a few years ago where he said that when they were getting ready to move to Utah for his new church assignment, his kids said, "Dad, we've never seen the Eiffel Tower." He's like, "Well, we see it all the time." They're like, "No, we've never gone to the Eiffel Tower
it's true.
As tourists, and we're about to move away. That's really sad." And then his talk was called, "Is It Still Wonderful to You?" Right? But look around where you are, find the things that make where you are unique, and go appreciate them.
And I feel like...
Look at them like a tourist would.
So I feel like it's very... Maybe this is not all-encompassing, but it seems like people either don't play the tourist until they're about ready to move, or they did all of the tourist stuff when they first moved there,
and then they don't want to do it anymore.
Then, like, we've done all of the tourist stuff, so we're kind of a little bit bored.
Yeah.
Because...
I still want to go to Bryce Canyon. But yeah.
But, like, as far as the aquarium or, like, hiking is not hiking is something you love to do, but it's not like, I'm in Utah, I get to hike because you've done it so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you make that feel more exciting or more, I don't know. Maybe just having gratitude for the daily things.
And I think that's what helped me when I started exploring the bike trails in this neighborhood and, getting out in this county and going on hikes and going snowshoeing. So I learned that I could like Utah in the winter
because
too.
Because Utah really is an outdoor...
It's a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts. It's amazing. So, where you live, as boring as it may seem or feel, there's probably something really cool and unique that makes it different than anywhere else in the world.
That's true.
And if you're having a hard time, especially during this coronavirus craziness, get out as much as you can, right? Go find those cool places, read the plaques at the historical sites and learn what makes where you are special. And you might develop a better understanding and appreciation for it.
And, we say Utah is the great outdoors, and it is. It really is. I personally, as far as being outdoors and active, I prefer... I like Montana. Riding my bike. I do. I love... For me, the great outdoors, I love big sky and open seas.
Yeah.
That's what I love. So Utah's very hard for me because I am not I can appreciate the beauty of the mountains, but they don't call to me. They don't speak to me, It's just...
Well, and it's good to understand that, too, so that when you go other places, you can appreciate what's there.
So, but I have to say, and I'm also not a big hiker, I'm not a big skier, like, I'm more of the low-impact stuff, swimming, yoga, walking.
So we just had a battery die on us, and that's the first time it's ever happened to me. So that's our first sign that it's time to start wrapping things up. But go ahead and finish your thought.
So I was just saying, I'm not a big skier. I'm not a big hiker. I like more low impact stuff. Mm-hmm. But as I've just walked around and slowed down, and not just slow down my whole day, but slowed down to taken like a half hour, 20 minutes, and just looked around me. These mountains are beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm not a mountain girl. I don't love the mountains, but these mountains are beautiful.
It's awesome.
I will always love big sky and sea and oceans. Those will always be my top landscape choice that just like sing to me, you know. But you notice the flowers, you notice the trees on the mountains, the snow-capped peaks. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So really but you only see that when you take time to slow down a little bit.
Absolutely. Because if you're just rushing through your life.
And have more of an attitude of gratitude. Yeah. So what you have to, sometimes it's easier if you intentionally look and say, okay, this might not be my favorite place, but what can I see that is really pretty? Yeah. Sunsets? Oh my goodness.
Utah
love
has amazing sunsets.
Utah has amazing sunsets.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And those happen everywhere.
They do. They happen everywhere.
Yeah. No, I think that's...
taking time to slow down and be grateful.
Right. And that's a valid point in the craziness that's going on right now. It's like we're having to slow down. We're being forced to slow down. Yeah. So find things that you can be grateful for around you. And that the principle behind all of this is the more you get to know a place or a person, the more you come to love and appreciate them because you understand them. Right. So to wrap up
I love you and I like you.
Yeah, I love you and I like you. That's the name of the podcast, and there's a reason for it. So, look outwardly, find ways to love and appreciate the people and the places around you. And, we love and appreciate you. Thank you for watching our podcast or listening to it wherever you are. Join the conversation in the comments below. Share and like and comment and subscribe and all those good things. And we'll see you next week. Thanks.
See you next week.